All right, let's jump into another deep dive. Today, we're looking at those stocks with, huge potential for 2025. The kind that might just hit that impressive $3 trillion market cap.
Exciting stuff.
We're specifically going to be looking at an article from the Motley Fool.
Okay.
They make a pretty bold claim.
Oh, yeah.
That Amazon could reach that $3 trillion mark in 2025.
Well, that is bold.
Joining the ranks of companies like Apple, NVIDIA, Microsoft.
That's a very exclusive club.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so far, only 3 American companies have actually broken that barrier.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a pretty big deal.
For sure.
Especially considering, Amazon stock is already up over 50% this year, hitting an all-time high.
It's crazy.
So it makes you wonder, what's driving all this growth?
That's a big question.
Right. The article highlights a few things.
Okay, like what?
Their cloud computing platform, AWS, for example, continues to perform incredibly well.
Of course, yeah.
But they're also seeing those profits increase overall.
Uh-huh.
And they seem to be, going all in on AI.
It seems like everyone is.
Right. But Amazon especially.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just about, offering a few AI-powered services here and there.
Oh.
They're aiming to dominate the entire AI landscape, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. From the hardware that powers AI to the large language models, the LLMs, all the way to the software applications.
Right. It's the whole ecosystem.
Exactly.
And speaking of AWS, they're bringing in some serious revenue.
How much are we talking?
Their Q3 2024 revenue hit a record $27.4 billion.
Wow.
That's a 19% increase year over year.
That's huge.
Huge. And a significant portion of that growth is attributed to their, expanding AI initiatives.
I read that Amazon CEO Andy Jassy even said their AI business within AWS, it's growing 3 times faster than the cloud division did.
Wow.
At the same stage in its development.
That's amazing. It really shows their commitment to becoming a major player in the AI space.
Yeah, it really does.
So let's dive a little deeper into these 3 layers of the AI ecosystem that Amazon is really targeting.
Okay, sounds good.
First up, we got the hardware.
Right.
The foundation.
Cool backbone, yeah.
Exactly. Now, they use NVIDIA chips extensively, of course.
Of course, everyone does.
Right, but they're also renting out computing capacity. And most importantly, designing their own AI chips.
I was going to say, they have to, right?
Yeah, they got to stay ahead of the game. These chips, they're called Trainium and Inferentia.
I've heard of Trainium.
Right. And the claim is that Trainium can actually save developers 50% on training costs.
Wow. That's a big selling point.
Compared to competitors?
Yeah, I bet.
So they're really investing heavily in the infrastructure that's going to drive that wider AI adoption.
It's a smart move for sure.
Yeah. Next, we've got the large language models, the LLMs.
Okay, so this is where it's interesting.
Right. Amazon's developed their own called Titan.
Titan. Okay.
And they're not just keeping them to themselves.
Oh, really?
Nope. Through their Bedrock platform, they're giving developers access to both Titan and LLMs from other leading AI companies.
Like who?
We're talking Anthropic Meta platforms.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty diverse offering.
So it seems like they're trying to become a one-stop shop for, all things AI.
Makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, it's a smart approach. By offering a wide range of LLMs, they're catering to a broader audience of developers.
Right.
And they're not putting all their eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Exactly. Then there's Amazon's AI assistant, Q.
Q?
Uh-huh. And this one's particularly fascinating, I think.
Oh, does it do?
Imagine this. It can answer questions about a company's internal data.
Okay.
And it can even generate computer code.
Wow.
That's some next-level efficiency.
It sounds like it.
But it's not just, a cool gimmick.
No.
Q boasts an industry-leading code acceptance rate.
Really?
Yeah, and it's so efficient that it actually saved Amazon a whopping 4,500 developer years on a single project. That translates to about $260 million in savings.
That's a serious return on investment.
It really shows the power of AI to streamline operations.
And save money.
And save money, yeah.
Exactly.
It's amazing how AI is transforming, business as we know it.
It really is. It's an exciting time.
Yeah, it is. But Amazon's success isn't just limited to, their tech advancements.
What else is contributing?
They're also managing to achieve impressive profit growth.
Yeah.
Despite their, already massive size.
How are they doing that?
It comes down to a laser focus on efficiency and cost management.
Smart.
A great example of this is their U.S. e-commerce logistics network.
Okay.
They've restructured it.
How so?
They've created 8 regions to shorten those delivery distances, and they've already seen a 25% improvement in product distribution.
Just from that?
Yeah. Across those fulfillment centers, it's all about optimizing every single step of the process.
It sounds like a...
Right. And they're also investing heavily in tech.
Like what kind of tech?
Robotics in their warehouses.
Right.
AI tools like Project Private Investigator, to make sure that product quality is up to par, reduce those returns. So all of this leads to, faster deliveries.
More same-day deliveries.
More same-day deliveries, yep. And ultimately, lower costs for Amazon.
Right.
It's a win-win.
Definitely.
These initiatives have resulted in some pretty impressive figures.
Lay it on me.
Their operating expenses only increased by 5.6%.
Right.
In the first 3 quarters of 2024.
Okay.
While their revenue jumped by 11.2%.
Wow, that's a big difference.
And that led to a 98% surge.
98%.
In net income. $39.2 billion.
That's insane.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is.
So with all this success, how likely is it that Amazon's going to hit that $3 trillion market cap in 2025?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, literally.
Right. Well, let's take a look at where they stand right now.
Okay.
Their current market cap is sitting at $2.4 trillion. Okay.
Making them the 4th largest company globally.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is impressive. And Wall Street, they're projecting that Amazon will reach $5.14 EPS in 2024.
Okay.
And $6.19 EPS in 2025.
So continued growth.
Continued growth.
Yeah.
And that puts their forward PE ratio at 36.8.
Okay.
Which is pretty much in line with the NASDAQ 100 index.
Interesting.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
What's that?
Amazon has consistently exceeded those Wall Street EPS predictions.
Really?
In 2024 by an average of 21%.
So they're outperforming expectations.
Big time.
That's pretty remarkable.
So if this trend continues, and they manage to really surpass expectations again in 2025, even with a constant PE ratio, their market cap, it could easily go past that $3 trillion mark.
You're saying it's definitely within the realm of possibility.
Oh, absolutely. But of course, as with any investment, there are risks involved.
Always.
Amazon's growth trajectory is impressive.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that, they don't operate in a vacuum. Right. There are always external factors.
Exactly. And that brings us to the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we talked about all the positives, what's working in Amazon's favor.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important to consider the potential roadblocks, too.
The challenges.
Exactly, the challenges.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest hurdles for a company like Amazon, given their size, it's going to be increased regulatory scrutiny.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely on the radar.
Oh, for sure.
Especially with their dominance in e-commerce, cloud computing.
Right.
They've already attracted a lot of attention from those antitrust regulators.
For sure.
Both in the U.S. and Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what specific concerns do you think regulators have, and how could this impact Amazon?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think a major concern for regulators is, the potential for monopolies.
Right.
And the stifling of competition.
Yeah.
Amazon is massive, and they have a reach across so many different markets.
That's true.
It does raise questions about whether they could, dictate terms. Potentially harming those smaller businesses. And ultimately, even impacting consumers.
Yeah, so what are some concrete examples of how regulatory actions could play out,
right,
and how that might impact Amazon's growth trajectory?
I mean, we've already seen discussions around breaking up big tech companies, right?
Wowers.
And for Amazon, that could mean separating AWS from their retail operations,
right,
or even facing, restrictions on their ability to acquire other businesses.
Yeah, that would definitely have an impact.
Huge impact. I mean, both of those could significantly hit their revenue streams and their future growth potential.
Yeah, it's definitely something to consider, when you're thinking about Amazon as a potential investment.
For sure. Absolutely.
There's also always the looming threat of economic downturns.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, no company is completely immune to a recession.
No, not at all.
And a recession, I mean, it could lead to, a drop in consumer spending.
Right.
Businesses might, tighten their belts.
Of course.
And all of that could directly impact Amazon's bottom line.
Right, especially their e-commerce.
Right.
and advertising revenue.
But we've talked about their diverse business model, right?
We have.
How do you think that diversification will help them, navigate a potential recession?
Well, the diversification definitely gives them a certain level of resilience, right?
Okay.
Because while their e-commerce business might suffer during a recession, their cloud services, like AWS, could actually see increased demand.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because businesses are looking for ways to, cut costs and improve their own efficiency.
Makes sense. So it could kind of balance things out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a hedge in a way.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But even with diversification, it's important to remember that not all of Amazon's ventures are, equally profitable.
That's true.
Right. I mean, their e-commerce business, it's huge.
Massive.
But it operates on those notoriously thin margins.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. So their overall profitability really hinges on AWS and their advertising business.
Okay.
Those have significantly higher margins than their core e-commerce operation.
Right.
So any slowdown in those areas could have a much bigger impact on their earnings overall.
So investors need to pay close attention to those specific segments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just like the overall growth of the company.
Exactly.
Right. And then there's that constant evolution of the tech landscape.
Oh, always.
Right. I mean, how does Amazon's position, factor into this?
Right. Because what's cutting edge today could be obsolete tomorrow.
Exactly.
Right. And Amazon, they have a good track record.
They do.
Of adapting and evolving, but they have to maintain that agility.
Yeah.
It's really crucial.
So what do they need to do to stay ahead of the curve?
I mean, continued investment in R&D.
Yeah.
Exploring new technologies, anticipating those shifts in consumer behavior.
Right. It's like a constant race to innovate.
Oh, absolutely.
And beyond the tech itself, I mean, Amazon has also faced criticism over their, labor practices.
Of course.
Workplace conditions.
Yeah.
How could these issues impact their operations?
Yeah, and ultimately their valuation.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, this is another area where they have to, demonstrate their commitment to improvement.
Right.
Because negative publicity, potential labor disputes, those can really damage their reputation.
Yeah, for sure.
And impact consumer trust.
Absolutely. And investors are increasingly focused on those ESG factors, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The environmental, social...
Governance is a big deal now.
It is. And any perceived shortcomings in those areas, I mean, it can definitely affect a company's valuation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So we've outlined some potential challenges here.
Yeah.
What do you think are the most significant threats?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's complex. There's no one single answer, right?
Yeah.
But I think, if I had to highlight a few areas, I would say that regulatory pressure, a significant economic downturn, and, the failure to adapt to evolving consumer expectations.
Yeah.
Those are all potential challenges.
Big challenges.
Right.
So it seems like Amazon has a lot to juggle.
They do.
Right? But to really understand their potential, we need to look beyond those internal challenges.
Exactly.
And examine how they stack up against the competition.
Right. Who are they up against?
Exactly. Let's dive into that competitive landscape and see how Amazon compares. All right. So we've talked about Amazon's strengths, their potential weaknesses, and those external factors that could really impact their growth. But for this final piece of the puzzle, let's really analyze that competitive landscape.
Yeah, because competition, it can make or break a company.
Absolutely. I mean, no company operates in isolation.
Right.
So understanding their rivals, it's crucial if we're going to, evaluate those long-term prospects.
Exactly.
So let's just break it down, starting with, their core business.
Wow.
E-commerce.
Right.
Who are the biggest threats to Amazon in that online retail space?
I mean, the obvious ones are like Walmart and Target.
Yeah.
Right? They've got those massive physical store networks, which they're using to, really boost their online offerings.
Yeah. Walmart's definitely been expanding aggressively online.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Target, they're focusing on that, more curated selection of merchandise.
Right.
And really emphasizing those same-day delivery services.
Trying to compete on speed.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But it's not just, those traditional retail giants.
Right.
What about those, specialized online retailers?
Right. You've got platforms like Shopify and Etsy.
Yeah.
They cater to those specific niches, offer, those unique products and experiences that Amazon might have a hard time replicating.
Right. And you can't forget about the whole social commerce trend.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Like Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
They're all integrating those shopping experiences right into their platform.
It's a whole ballgame.
It is. So it's a multi-front battle for Amazon.
Yeah, for sure.
So how can they maintain their edge?
Right.
What strategies are going to be critical for their e-commerce success?
Well, I think they need to keep investing in their logistics network.
Yeah.
Making sure those deliveries are, fast, reliable, and, increasingly sustainable. I think that's important.
Yeah. Consumers want those eco-friendly options.
Definitely.
But speed and efficiency, those aren't everything, right?
No, of course not.
What about the actual shopping experience?
Right. So they need to constantly refine those algorithms, their personalization capabilities.
Yeah.
To really create that seamless, relevant shopping experience.
Right. Like anticipating those customer needs.
Yeah.
Offering, curated product recommendations.
Exactly.
Making the whole process super easy.
Frictionless.
Yeah, frictionless. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a constant, game of innovation and adaptation.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Let's talk about cloud computing.
Okay.
We've talked about how AWS is a powerhouse.
It is.
But they're facing some, serious competition.
Oh, absolutely.
So who are the main rivals in that space?
Well, you've got Microsoft Azure.
Right.
And Google Cloud Platform.
So it's like a clash of the titans.
Definitely.
Right. What are the key battlegrounds in this cloud war?
Pricing's always a big one.
Right. Everyone wants cost-effective solutions.
Of course.
But it's not just about offering the lowest price, right?
No, it's got to be the whole package.
So what else matters?
Well, you got to have that comprehensive suite of services. Top-notch security, reliability. Yeah. And the platform's got to be easy to use, integrate with existing systems.
So it's like finding that right balance between, features, performance, and cost.
Exactly.
So how do these three giants, really differentiate themselves?
Microsoft, they leverage that, enterprise software dominance.
Right.
They integrate Azure seamlessly with all their existing products.
Yeah.
Google, they've got a strong advantage in data analytics and AI.
Right.
They offer some really powerful tools for businesses, that want to leverage all their data.
Makes sense.
And Amazon, they're focused on building that ecosystem, attracting developers with a wide range of services and tools.
So it's a dynamic market, constantly evolving.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's talk AI. Amazon's clearly making a big push in this area.
They are.
But who are they up against in this, AI race?
The competition is fierce.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to define because AI is becoming part of, pretty much every industry.
Right.
But if we're talking, core AI capabilities, research, Amazon's going head-to-head with Google, Microsoft, Meta, and some newer, highly specialized companies.
Like Woo.
Like OpenAI.
Right. Anthropic. So it's a mix of those, established giants and those agile startups.
Right. Everyone wants a piece of the pie.
It seems like it. So what's it going to take for Amazon to succeed in this, increasingly competitive landscape?
Talent acquisition is going to be huge.
Okay.
They need to keep the best AI researchers, engineers.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to drive innovation.
Right. Makes sense.
And access to, tons of data.
Yeah.
For training those AI models, developing those new algorithms.
Right. It's all connected.
Oh, yeah.
And they also need to keep pushing the boundaries of AI research, right?
Absolutely.
Developing those groundbreaking algorithms that are going to outperform the competition.
That's how you stay ahead.
Exactly. So it's a race on multiple fronts. Talent, data, research. It seems like Amazon has a lot on their plate.
They do, but they've got the resources.
Yeah.
The ambition. And, they've shown that they can adapt.
Yeah, they have.
So they've definitely got the potential.
They do. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear that Amazon's future isn't set in stone.
No, not at all.
But by understanding their strengths, their weaknesses, and these competitive dynamics, we can make more informed decisions.
For sure.
So remember, investing always involves risks, but knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Amazon.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, keep diving deep.
Always.